you, some people in the members of the public are as well, so you're free to do so, obviously.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody. Apologies for absence, item number 2.
I need to be present first. I need to take everybody's names and addresses.
Oh, okay. What, every single person?
I think so. It's present, isn't it?
Okay, can we start at this side of the room? Can you give your name to the clerk, please?
Which side are we still starting?
Ella Nines.
Is it Ellen?
Ella, E-L-L-A, Nines, N-I-N-E-S.
Martin Tipping.
Jeff Kenner.
Jill Beard.
Steve Todd.
Shelley Clark.
Jackie Beddoe.
Oh, yeah, Graham Richards.
Put it.
And
Jackie Beddoe.
Is it Beddoe?
Beddoe. B-E-D-D-O-E.
Callie Fitter. Lorraine Hilton. Gillian Dipple.
Kelly Tipple.
Ian Taylor Hughes.
Colin Summers.
Karen Brown.
Brian Dixon.
Right, welcome everybody, thank you for that. The meeting's open now. The second item is to receive apologies for absence.
I just want to apologise to Councillor Mark Roscoe.
Okay, item 3, declaration of interest. May I remind councillors that there is a book in the centre of the table, and if they need to declare any interest, any prejudicial interest in any item on the agenda, they have to register. Councillor Billy?
Thank you, Chair. Item 11, there is a payment to my employer and also for the Legal War Management Committee, so I will refrain from voting on that item.
Any more declaration of mutual interests? Right, okay. Item 4, public forum. I mentioned that, yeah. Item 4, public forum. Thank you for the people that registered to speak. Could I ask that when you do speak that you give your, I know you've given your name, could you give your address as well, please, in case we have to respond to any of the questions or issues that you raise. We're trying to limit the public forum to 20 minutes. We know that there's, on item 6, there's an item that a lot of people in this room are likely to have an interest in. So you're welcome to stay and listen to all of that. If you are representing a group of people, if you could tell us who you're representing, that would be useful. So we need to understand the strength of the representation. If you're talking as an individual, obviously you don't need to do that. So welcome, and who would like to speak first? Mr. Dixon.
Yes. Good evening, Chairman. Good evening, councillors. I would like to speak as part of the people, of the residents who are very disappointed with the vote to remove stuff from our burial ground, which has caused rather a major upset in our village, and over the few weeks has resulted tonight you hear a lot of people outside which would like to come and speak. Unfortunately, they're not allowed in here for various reasons. So three of us are going to give a slight view. I would like to draw attention to two small things which I've thought of this week. And one is flags in the graveyard, which is a major thing. The one we mainly all see is one on the left-hand side that we go in, and I'm not a football supporter. It's been there some 7 or 8 years. Everybody's seen it. And this week, I have read and seen messages from the Church of England Reverend, who says how gaudy they are. And this goes along with what the Parish Council is saying. So, is that part now that we shan't have flags on coffins? Because anybody that wants to take a flag on a coffin through our burial ground is now banned. They won't be allowed to. And we have war heroes. We have something very close to our own heart. Retired firemen that served this village for some of them half a century, and their families and their sons. With the rules passed, will not be able to have their flag on their coffin, which is not very, very good. We also, in a few weeks' time, everybody in this village gathers round the memorial for a poppy day, which is wonderful. Everybody supports it well, and it's supported well. The Parish Council support it. And if you go up to the burial ground, the wooden stakes are put in with a poppy. That is now banned under this Parish Council, because you can't have them. Because they're artificial flowers, and you've got a spike in the ground. So, we urge and ask the Parish Council to reconsider their ban on all items, and we want our burial ground to be returned back to a peaceful, loving place for all people that are bereaving and want to go there for that reason. And we would like you to withdraw the vote you took. There's no winners, there's no losers. Because all we want is our burial ground back the way we had it and the way that this village wanted. And you've got all these people out there that do want our burial ground back to the way it is. So I would ask councillors to reconsider the vote they took. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Your name and your address.
Karen, we've got your address.
Yeah, I haven't got Karen's address.
Oh, sorry, you haven't.
4 Allendale Crescent. Okay. This was written by myself and Martin Tipping. We feel it's very unfair that the council are expecting people to remove items from graves. It is part of the grieving process to give a flower or teddy or any other item to our deceased loved ones, whether they be a child or an adult. It can help children to heal after losing a sibling or a parent. The simple act of placing a solar light on a child's grave can give a grieving parent a tiny bit of solace that their child has a little bit of light shining on them in the dark. The removal of these items could emotionally scar a child or a parent, in fact anyone that is going through the grieving process for years to come. It is so important that there are no restrictions on what can be placed on the graves of our loved ones. Anyone who works with the bereaved, and that includes those that sell the grave plots, should never push or try to influence the bereaved with their views. It's very unprofessional and disrespectful to the deceased and their families, and could potentially be harmful. Preventing someone from playing a piece of music or placing a simple item in a coffin or on a grave can have a detrimental effect on the bereaved for many years. Taking items from graves is not only removing them from the families who placed them there, but it's also removing them from the people who they were given to. Saying that something is gaudy is insulting the memory of the deceased person, as this is placed there to remember that person, as it was something that was important to them and their life. As for the removal of all items that are fixed with a spike or stake, Does this mean that the grave markers are not allowed, temporary marker crosses are not allowed, and let's not forget how a headstone is fixed with a NAM anchor pin, which is a spike driven into the ground? Some may say that crosses are gaudy. Are you going to stop these being placed in the cemetery? Are we not allowed to place a memorial poppy cross in the cemetery? And if so, where will you be targeting next? The War Memorial? The council cemetery is there for the people of Studley. If these regulations were in a churchyard, we would totally agree, as the land is owned by the church, but the cemetery is owned by the parish and the people of the village. We have been led to believe that the new rules were because of health and safety reasons. On what basis? How many people have been seriously injured, lost eyes or limbs or died in Studley Cemetery because of a scarf or a windmill or any other item on the list? You must reconsider the rules being implemented or risk being branded as the Parish Council who not only disrespected and ignored their parishioners, but their deceased as well.
It's Colin Summers. I think you have my address. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. I'd just like to pick up on my friend's point there about health and safety. There's been a lot said about it, and I'm assuming that the new rules were brought in largely because of health and safety reasons. Well, I'm assuming that this work was tendered for properly. Is that the case?
It was tendered for.
Yeah, right. Well, if so, on the award, I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs in any way, but you should have obtained proper risk assessments from the successful contractor, cost assessments, method statements, as he's using heavy machinery in a public place. It's very important. It's a hazardous activity. I noticed this morning he's now wearing the PPE, or personal protective equipment. He was down there this morning, I believe. And also he should have proper insurances. Certainly he should have public liability and all risks insurance. I wouldn't think employer's liability because I believe he's self-employed or a single contractor. Also, I assume under the tender there was a clause in there where you were not bound to accept the lowest or any tender. As I'm aware, the work was not awarded on price, not the cheapest price. According to my information, the successful contractor was 10.5% dearer than another contractor, and an astonishing 22% more than another contractor. I don't know whether you're in a position to confirm that at this point or not.
I think we need to, if you want an answer to that, we'll confirm it in writing.
Okay.
I think that is just out of memory, isn't it?
Okay.
But it sounds about right.
The point I'm trying to make is he must be exceptional at what he does to award it to someone who's 22% dearer than someone else. Anyway, let's bring it back to the issue of the new rules. I would reiterate my previous request when I proposed to arrange a meeting of the parish. I'm sure one of my friends here would second that proposal anyway.
I will second that.
In which I asked for a bigger venue so that more of the people can debate this issue. You can see the swell of feeling by the number of people who gathered outside, and incidentally, there are many different faces there now than at the last meeting. And in the meantime, Mr. Chairman, I would ask the Council to make sure that the status quo is observed in this matter. I would also like to point out that you're all in place on the Council to represent the parishioners, not to dictate to them. And the people that really care about this matter, I believe the rules are not aimed at them. They look after the graves, they tend them, they keep them well. The groundsman doesn't even have to interfere anywhere near the graves. It's the ones that don't look after them that you should be aiming at. My friend here mentioned the flags and the poppy wooden crosses. Also there's the aspect of the wreaths. they're put on. I believe that most of the people here, once they get worn and tired, they do remove them anyway. I notice this is down for discussion in item 6 on your agenda, so I'd respectfully ask if I could remain and listen to that.
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
He actually wants.
Yeah, sorry, can you just give clarity on the question you asked about the tender? And that was the question that you wanted an answer for, was it?
Yes, did you obtain proper risk assessments, cost assessments, method statements, and copies of insurances?
Could you let me have that in writing? Because it's a bit much to get down.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem.
That's fine.
Not a problem. Sorry, and the details of the quotations.
Yeah.
I'll put that in writing as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, we've sort of, I think we've been quite short on the public forum. If there's anyone, in the interest of democracy, if there's anyone who would like to speak that has an issue which is different to the one, or a different position.
I would love to, but I live in Macklebury Green Parish.
Yes. Then I'm happy to extend it for a few minutes. Is there anyone that would like to speak apart from yourself, because we know the issue with regard to that?
Can I just ask a question?
Not really.
About, I've purchased graves down there, 2 graves down there, and you're happy to sell the graves to me, but you're not happy for me to speak in the meeting?
If you want to put the question to the clerk, because I'm not going to answer your question in this meeting, but I'm happy to address it.
Okay, I will be.
Okay, yes, so my question is, for your name and address, please.
My name's Jackie Beddoe. Oh, I'm not going to be allowed to speak.
Mr. Steve?
Can I have your address, please?
Yeah, it's number 3 Paxford Close, Redditch.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I'll do it. Steve Todd,
thanks.
address is 10 Badbury Close. What we're asking for clarification on is that if people have been allowed to purchase a plot in the parish, why are they not allowed a free voice during the meeting on this subject? That, Mr. Chairman, is what they're asking. I think it's a reasonable question as well.
Okay, all right, okay. We've got that. You'll get a response to it. Thank you.
Can you not respond today?
I think council needs to discuss it. So
Okay.
to give you a considered response,
Yes.
otherwise it's just one person's opinion.
Okay.
It's not fair on everyone. Sorry, did you want to speak as well?
Me.
Yeah.
I don't reside in the parish any
All
longer.
right, so is there anybody else? We've got a couple of minutes. Is there anybody else?
Would
who
you
like
like
to speak?
would you like us 3 to go out and let 3 more people come in from outside and speak? They will just be adding to what we've said.
If it's the same, if it's just adding to what you've said.
All those people out there want us to say what they've said, but they are quite willing to come in and tell you themselves.
I would be, if someone's got, I appreciate that. I think
They won't add anything any different to what we said, but we're quite willing to let them come in and put their personal view to you.
if you've already mentioned it, then we've got it. Otherwise, I think we appreciate the strength of it. So I think, it's quite clear. But it's a good suggestion, but I don't think it's necessary.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I believe on the matter of the public meeting, it does need 6 of the parishioners to put that forward, and I would ask for 5 other parishioners in Studley to back me on the call for the parish meeting, if that's possible. Is there anyone who would back me on that?
You will propose in a second.
Thank you.
Okay, can we have, could we
For
have the names?
a parish meeting, yes.
Could we have the names of those? Could you put your hands up if you were backing that? Could we have the names of those people? We only want 5. It's 5 or 6 here.
6
No, it doesn't. It's just a record.
Excuse me, Clark, this is democracy. This is the village talking to you.
We know what we've got to
Oh,
do.
no, come on, let's keep it civil.
Just not his names then.
We'll come back to you on that. Okay, just shout out your names, please.
Jill Beard,
Callie Fitter, Lorraine Hilton,
Gillian Dipple.
Hang on, hang on. One, two, three, four. Another two, please.
Brian
Ellen
Dixon.
Hines.
Kenneth Sumner.
And what, and we need to public meeting.
What's the public meeting for?
Colin was the proposer. Colin will tell you.
Colin?
Colin?
Colin, could you just say what the public meeting's for then?
To discuss the new rules for the cemetery.
With council?
Yes. Yep. Just wanted as many of the parishioners who wanted to attend to listen to questions asked and hear the answers themselves, as this is such a small venue and they can't all get in.
Council will respond to you.
And again, clarification: if people from outside the parish who have bought plots are welcome to and are able to speak at that, please.
You said that earlier, didn't you?
Yes, I did, but one clarification on the response for the parish meeting as well, if that's possible.
And you have a look at funds, very bad.
Yes, well, we're going to answer that.
Okay.
So that's Mrs. Sutton, yourself. All right, thank you. Okay, so I think that'll be the end of public forum unless anyone's burning to say something different. I'll introduce something else. Okay, moving on, matters arising, item number 5. Nothing? Okay, nothing on that agenda item. Item number 6 is items for discussion. Just have some quiet on this, please, but I think this is an agenda item that a lot of people have an interest in. Item number 1 is the process to resolve issues surrounding the cemetery regulations. And this is I think this is what everyone's here for. I think I'll start off with this, just to put something on the table, and that is, do council believe there is a requirement for review? And I would suggest that the discussion follows a pathway. If it does, what does that look like? How do we capture representation? And how do we best serve the needs of the community by making sure that we address the issues adequately? Councillor Beale.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my recommendation is that we actually follow the same process that we followed when we decided on these regulations in the first place. We set up a committee. We already have a burial committee. I would like to suggest that we have one of the people that are here tonight on that committee, along with a representative from the church as well. I think that way we will get a balanced view of what the feeling is. They can then report back to the Parish Council with their recommendations, and the Parish Council then can make an informed decision as to whether we need to reassess or whether we change or whether we alter the existing regulations. In the meantime, we make no further moves, we remove no further items, we make no changes in the burial ground. So we are status quo at present until we get a report back from the burial committee.
Council has made a statement this week regarding. Can someone reiterate? Someone, you've got that.
It was
Come to you, Mr. Conway.
was erected at the cemetery on, sorry, that's in my paper. In light of recent representations received regarding changes to cemetery regulations, our Parish Council will be reviewing recent changes to management arrangements with regard to items on graves. The Parish Council, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one out, sorry. Something's wrong. The notice was displayed at the cemetery earlier this week, and it's been put on the website and it's been displayed on the notice board. But I just don't have the right notice here. Many apologies.
Okay, the gist of it is fine.
It was basically to say that no items would be removed until the Parish Council decided how to revisit the process, or whether to revisit the process.
Councillor Blake.
Mr Chairman, I'd just like to make a slight amendment possibly to the councillor's proposal, is that we actually have an equal number of members of the residents to the parish council. and where we can is to equalise those number of residents with those for the proposals and those against the proposals. There are obviously some people in the village who have made it known to the Parish Council that they actually agree with the proposals. And I think, to be fair all round, that there should be 4 parish councillors on the committee. There should be 2 residents who are for the proposals, and there are 2 residents against the proposals. And there should be a member of the diocese who is possibly the who takes the final vote.
Are you suggesting that would require some arbitration? Because if you had an equal number of people.
Well, if you have a diocese member who is and that would be the casting vote.
Okay, that's one suggestion. Are there any other issues that councillors would like to raise on this? It's a big topic. So we've got one proposal from Councillor Baker. Would anyone like to second that? Support that?
I'll second
Okay, if there's nothing else coming forward on this agenda, let's have a council vote on it. Okay, all in favour of Councillor
Before we
Baker?
do the vote, Mr. Chair, may I ask if it is possible for a person who's actually proposed it to actually abstain from the vote? I see nothing in standing order that I can actually that I can't abstain, although I made the proposal. And I will actually give my reasons for abstaining from that.
Yes, I'd be interested. Okay, that's fine. So you are standing by that proposal?
I'm standing by the proposal.
Sandra, you're seconding it?
I'll second.
Okay, can I have the council vote on that?
I've abstained, Mr. President, as I say, Mr. Chair. I'd actually like to give my reason for abstaining. Is that every Tuesday I give up 3 hours of my time to be in the parish hall so the residents can approach me on any topic they want to do with parish council business. Now this has been going on for at least 18 months, and not once in that time have I been approached. So if nobody's willing to give their opinion as to their concerns about any parish council business, then I can't actually make a decision on which way to vote. And therefore that's the reason why I have not voted in this particular instance.
Thank you. Councillor Dean?
Thank you, Chair. I'm happy for Jim's proposal to go forwards. Whilst we have residents here, have we got anybody that is willing to serve on that committee? Will we ask for nominations and see if we can actually get somebody to sit on that committee?
Before we address that, Councillor Evans?
I just wonder whether, as a group themselves, they would like to go away and discuss who they want to put forward and to propose. You know, not necessarily for them to be in a position where they must do that tonight.
I think, Chair, if I could through, I think either Brian or Karen could respond on that and give us their view.
So I'm happy to respond on that if you'd like to.
I think it would be best that we go away and discuss it between ourselves and let you know what the outcome is.
We have called for a meeting, sir, and we would like to go forward and have our meeting so that all those people over there can give their views to the council. We'll give a broad view, and we would like all the people to come along, and we'll have a big venue, and it could be a school, it could be the parish hall, it could even be the church. We are all willing to come along to a venue, and there are big rooms round the village, which doesn't take much imagination, so that all the people from the parish can come along, because there is a lot of upset in there, and we would like the council to hear some of the views. So
thank you, Mr. Dixon.
then we would willingly look at your proposal, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I just, before you speak, I'd just like to give my position on this, because I think it's I'd like to make it quite crystal clear, is that this is clearly a very emotive issue that council is clearly very willing to address. I think that the critical factor is ensuring that there is appropriate representation and that all views are heard. This is why I supported Jim's proposal, because I think it isn't just about the pressure group and noise coming from certain people, which is very valuable. We want to capture that, and we want to capture the details of that, because that's part of delivering that solution. And I'd like to see this issue, which has been quite divisive in the village, move towards one participation where we actually drive a proper outcome, which meets the needs of most of the people. So that's my position. You wanted to come?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'm asking support with residents for a public meeting. Reason being, if it wasn't for residents of this village, we wouldn't be voted in as councillors. And I think we do owe it to the residents to help with the
Okay, thank you.
Chair, I am quite happy to take on the proposal from the residents. However, what I do have to bring to council's attention is that we have had at least one communication from a resident that would have liked to attend tonight to actually say how they support the parish council point of view, but felt uncomfortable with coming along because they felt that the tone of the meeting would not be conducive to them to be able to get their point across successfully. So I can understand residents wanting a public meeting, but if we do have one, it has to be balanced and even. And I, at present, I'm not sure that would be possible. But I am prepared to go to one if it's
Let's take your point, Councillor. I would like to thank everyone. It's already been voted on.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, but you talk
sorry,
about this as a...
You're not allowed to speak, I'm sorry.
You've already had it. Yes, Mr. Chairman. This person that Councillor Eden was talking about, I've looked on the electoral roll that we have as councillors, and I cannot find this person on the electoral roll. So I'm just wondering whether this person does actually live in Studley.
Who are you talking about?
Don't mention the name.
Not mention their name. It's the person that said that they liked to have been here tonight.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay. Are there any other comments on this agenda item? Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Okay. This item 2, wording for plaques with the war memorial.
Please, Mr. Chairman, could we leave before you continue?
Yeah. Thank you.
Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone for attending.
What a stitch.